Friday. So I wanted to come on here today because I think a lot of times there's like this misconception, especially as you watch other people grow, about like how easy it must be or like how their goals are so amazing and how do they do it type of thing. And I just wanted to get really real today about how it works, at least for me. So this is my journey. So this year we have really big ambitions. I'm sure you probably have heard me talk about it. We're working on doubling our business. It really means that we got to put a lot of intentionality behind what we're doing, how we're doing it, each of the steps that we're taking. And so I have had to put together or kind of reconstruct like what I'm going to be doing. And one of the things that I've been working with my therapist, shout out to Serena Talbot, on over the last couple of months has been to move from surviving to really living and thriving in life. Because the truth is that pretty much since I had my daughter when I was 17, I've been just in survival mode. It's been a rough relationship after rough relationship. And then, of course, a lot of you know my story about 4 years ago when it just got really bad. And then I got out, and pretty much all of that has concluded, as far as like that part of my life. And now I really want to be able to work on just living. So, anyways, all that to say is that I've been working with her on some of the shifts that need to happen, and it's been really amazing. And one of the things that I did figure out was that in order for me to be able to grow into this next level of leadership and into this next level of whatever you want, personal development, growth, womanhood, whatever you want to call it, is that I need to spend a pretty decent amount of time on self care and really making sure that I am pouring into myself and letting God pour into me as much as I pour into others. Because let's face it, as entrepreneurs, we have a lot of responsibility, especially once you start adding team members. But even if you don't, you have a responsibility to your clients, your customers, your network, all these people that you get to touch and impact, which is really, really awesome. But it is a lot of responsibility. And so then throw on top of that, or looking to double our business this year. I'm looking to double my business year, which is going to put us to $1 million. That's a huge undertaking. Like getting to your first million can be a really big, thing to do, and to do it well, so we're not just trying to like hit that number, but to do it profitably and really, successfully, and not with burnout or overwhelm or anything like that. Like we're moving in that direction, really set the foundation for how our firm will continue to grow. Because, like we like to say, me and my booking man or my operations manager, the sky's the limit for us. So, like, I don't have a plan of like, oh, this is where we're going to get to and we're going to stop. Like, we have such a huge thing that we get to do for people, and I want to just be able to do it. So, anyways, all that to say, I did super awesome last week. Like, typically, I'm a little bit more introverted, believe it or not. And so like meetings after meetings after meetings, and once you get to a certain point in business and in growth, you do become like mostly meetings. That's all you do. You have management meetings, you have networking meetings, you have sales meetings, you have more management team meetings. Anyways, it's just all meetings. It's a lot of meetings. And those burn me out. So typically like I would get, halfway through the week and I would just be like feeling a lot like it's the beginning of the year, so there's a lot of stuff going. Hopefully, oh, one of my streams. Okay. Sorry. I got a pop-up thing that popped up. Hopefully you can still see this. Anyways, last week I went through the whole week and it was just phenomenal. I didn't feel burned out. I didn't feel overwhelmed. I didn't have one day where I was like, I can't talk to another person. And it was because I was really prioritizing my plan, my self-care plan, and my priority plan. And then the weekend came, and one of the things was that I wasn't going to watch TV all week, and which is kind of like my decompression typically, but I switched it because I want to read a lot here. So now I'm not watching TV during the week. I'm reading books, which was really awesome. But then the weekend came and I just like lost all forms of discipline and totally just binge watched TV. Like, and it wound up being the whole week So anyways, but I had to give myself grace. And then this week, it not continued to spiral because I haven't watched really any TV this week either and was reading books, but it was harder. Like I didn't have as much of that discipline that I was looking to have as I did last week. And there was, that kind of threw me off. And then the kids, like I forgot they were off on Monday. So then they were home. So that threw me off too. And it just seems like this whole week has kind of been like a little bit of a lot of that. So, anyways, and then I was neglecting, this plan that I had set in place for myself. So, anyways, I took yesterday to kind of use it as my day of decompression and just relaxing because there's some work that I really want to get done over the weekend to keep us on track for where we're going. And I guess I wanted to just share that because that's really the truth about business ownership is that sometimes it gets rough and sometimes you're not very motivated and you got to get yourself back up going. And so the one thought that really struck me as I was like thinking about this was that intentionality does not mean perfection. And I think that's one of the really cool things about life. Anything that happens is not set in stone for the most part. Like there's always a pivot. I don't really like using that word, but there is, there's always some kind of thing that can be adjusted. Like I tell my kids all the time, you can't control usually how people talk or what happens to you, but you control how you react. And the same thing is in our life is like sometimes we're reacting to our own missteps, our own situation. And I just wanted to encourage you that if you're feeling like I'm off track and I'm not on track and I'm not gonna X, Y, and Z, just remember that you still can and that intentionality does not mean perfect. And some days you're gonna have imperfect days. And that's okay because like me, is how to have a better weekend and how to be more disciplined and then how to get right back on it next week and really like pushing the steps to create the habits because that's what I'm working on right now is these really good life habits so that I can meet and be that person that I want to be and that I know I need to be in order for us to get to this level. So thanks for watching. Hopefully it was helpful. Hopefully to go back and look because I'm getting funny messages. But have a fantastic Friday and just remember that you control what you do and how you react and that's based on that and you can continue on through life and rock that entrepreneur life.